ESPN Speed World continues our 50th anniversary salute to NASCAR, home to the fastest growing and most popular motorsport series in the world.
43 engines are about to shatter the peaceful silence on a calm Friday evening in Virginia. As darkness creeps across the countryside, the Richmond International Raceway begins to glow. Modern technology has brought the beauty of speed and light together. And at this challenging short track, the electricity is everywhere.
By now you've heard that Virginia is for lovers. Well, tonight in the heart of the Commonwealth, the aficionados of NASCAR at nighttime feed their passion. The romance for racing often begins in the pits or up in the grandstands of America's short track. 43 guys get back to their roots and chase a dream. But to reach the goal of victory, they must beat a guy that has a name that some fans love to hate.
This season in the Busch Series, it is this sun that has been shining. Little E and his car number 3 have been almost unstoppable. This super sibling has reminded many of the formative years of his famous father. The more he wins, the more his dad grins. No, it's not luck. It's simply legacy that has the crowd standing and the crews cheering. But now it's time to get serious and try to capture a Busch Series championship. Let's see if this famous sun can shine tonight under the lights here at Richmond.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s remarkable role continues. In fact, once again tonight, he starts on the front row. It's been a spectacular season for Earnhardt. So spectacular, in fact, it's overshadowed the great season enjoyed by young Matt Kenseth, who is second in the championship chase and already has 2 huge wins this season. Still, he finds himself 115 points behind Earnhardt and must keep one eye in his mirror watching third-place Mike McLaughlin creeping closer. Tonight, Kenseth hopes to have the entire field in his mirror when the checkered flag falls, but it'll have to come from 23rd starting spot to do it.
Bill, the only driver that's in this field that runs on a regular basis in the Busch Grand National Series that's ever won here at Richmond is this guy, Jeff Purvis. So there's a lot of guys in this field that would really like to work their way to the front. But a really, really special story happened here the other day, and that involves this guy, the driver of the number 47 car. His name is Andy Santerre. And this sport can really give you some highs and lows, folks. Just a few weeks ago at Watkins Glen, Andy Santerre went there with a brand new race car, hoping to have a great race. He didn't even make the show. But the other day, he came to Richmond with that very same car and won the pole.
ESPN Speed World welcomes you live to Henrico County, Virginia. Yeah, Richmond International Raceway for our coverage of the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series Autolite Platinum 250. With just 6 events remaining in the 1998 Busch Grand National Tour, Little E is starting to pull away somewhat over Matt Kenseth, with the veterans Mike McLaughlin, Randy LaJoie, and Elton Sawyer rounding out the top 5. How good has Little E been? Well, after 24 races, compare where he is with the 2 previous guys who have driven that car number 3, Steve Park and Jeff Green. Little E has been awfully, awfully good. Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry Punch, along with Benny Parsons and Kyle Petty. We're certainly glad to have you with us. It doesn't get any better than this. Benny, Friday night short track action, Busch Series style, under the lights here at Richmond.
It's like Ray Dunlap was talking about. Both these guys are going back to the roots when they ran on Friday, Saturday night, but those 50, 100 lap features, Kyle.
Yep, but at Bristol, the last time we saw these guys under the lights, it looked like a bunch of 30 lap features, as many cautions as we had. But let me tell you something about this racetrack. The sealer has begun to wear off. It's as tacky as it's ever been, and I think these guys are going to put on a show that's indicative of what the Busch Series is all about.
Don't look at my tie when you're saying tacky, by the way. As the command is given, and 43 cars roar to life. We are set for beating and banging short track style. We'll be back with lap-by-lap coverage of the NASCAR Busch Series event in just a moment.
Okay, they're coming. Yes.
Who is?
That's all right. Mine goes to the floor.
Who are all those guys?
Yeah, Spencer 37 will drop back.
And 72.
And 72, yeah. Mike Dillon, Mark Green. Let me find the billboards here. Where are the billboards? What are the billboards? Here they are.
Yes, testing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
So Jimmy Spencer is driving the 12.
Yes, he is. 1, 2.
You have a threw a list of those on boards over there a minute ago. A copy there. They are right there.
Thank you, BP. I'm gonna let you do all those you want to do. We'll just do the first.
What are we doing? How many rows are we doing?
So today's field at Suzuki starting grid, and we're just gonna. Okay.
Yeah.
Our speed road coverage of exciting NASCAR Busch Grand National Series action from Richmond International Raceway is being brought to you by Suzuki. Your Suzuki motorcycle and ATV dealer has the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. And by Valvoline. You can always tell the guys who use Valvoline. Well, the cars are beginning to roll off of pit road, 43 strong for this event tonight. The 25th race, the 1998 Busch Series Tour. Look at today's field, 31 Chevrolet, 7 Fords, and 5 Pontiacs. Our Suzuki starting grid, well, we told you earlier, 4 days after his 30th birthday, Andy Santerre becomes the 20th different pole winner in 1998, and he's flanked by Little E, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
In row 2, we find Jeff Purvis alongside Kevin LePage. Purvis on the inside, LePage on the outside.
Former Rookie of the Year, Glenn Allen Jr. alongside Todd Bodine in row 3.
In row 4, Dave Blaney and Lyndon Amick. Great qualifying run for Amick.
And how about Wayne Grubb, a Virginian who ran awfully well here in the spring, and Shane Hall in the car number 85.
There's Dick Trickle, the last winner in row 6, alongside Buckshot Jones.
As you look at the rest of our starting grid, 43 cars will start today. Now, earlier in the afternoon, by the way, the car number 12 you see there, Jimmy Spencer, that car was actually qualified by Steve Grissom. Spencer was at Dover, Delaware testing, so he will drive the car tonight, but start all the way at the rear of the field in 43rd spot.
A couple other guys' times were disallowed. Mark Green and Mike Dillon. They're using unleaded fuel here tonight in the Busch Series. The first time ever, unleaded fuel. When they checked the fuel after, Dillon's and Mark Green's, both their fuel samples were not what NASCAR was looking for, so their times were disallowed. Both those cars had to take provisionals.
There's Tony Stewart and Robert Presley. Presley looks to be awfully good tonight. Elliott Sadler, the announcement last week that he will become a Winston Cup competitor in 1999 in the Wood Brothers car.
See the cars weaving back and forth, trying to get the tires warmed up just a little bit. Signal's been given from Carl Simmons. 1 lap to go. So the green flag waves over this field of 43 cars.
There were 53 Busch Grand National cars that came here to try to qualify for this $467,000 event. Only the top 43 made it in the field. Provisional, the last starter, the 2-time defending series champion, Randy LaJoie. There's some of our onboard cameras.
Mike McLaughlin will be starting in 35th place. Elton Sawyer carrying an onboard camera, starting in 34th. Jeff Burton will be carrying also an onboard camera. There we'll see Jeff weaving back and forth, starting in 22nd. Hermie Sadler right in front of him. The Peebles Department Store onboard camera, starting in 20th place. And Mark Martin, the Winn-Dixie Ford Taurus, will start 14th. Dick Trickle, the Snyder National onboard camera. And also Kevin LePage in the Channel Lock Chevrolet will be carrying an onboard camera. He will be on the outside of the second row.
All right, coming out of turn 4. Carl Simmons has the green flag in his hand, and we're underway in Richmond. Earnhardt Jr. not wasting any time, trying to pull away from Santerre, and will have a shot at leading the first lap.
Things are being able to be. Oh, we got some cars crashing. Oh, big crash up in the corner. We see Brad Knopfsinger in 43.
Mike McLaughlin is involved, third in the point standings. There's a look at the Gould's Pump Chevrolet. But McLaughlin, as the first caution of the day comes out. There's Knopfsinger's curb record Chevy.
And Tony Stewart, some heavy damage to the shell Pontiac of Tony Stewart. Man. And we see also Robert Presley, some damage to the front of that automobile. But look at Mike McLaughlin's car. I wondered who lost all the water up there. Obviously, Kylie was McLaughlin because the radiator is jammed against the engine.
Yeah, his hood is bowed up so far. He's drove way up under somebody.
And look at Matt Kenseth almost getting in some trouble there as he almost spins. And then we see Knopfsinger in 43 go round. There was Tim Fedewa also down on the bottom, the 33 car. The 44 runs into Fedewa. Man, there must have been 6-8 cars involved.
All right, from Mike McLaughlin's roof cam.
He had 3 cars in the back. Elton Sawyer, the Barbasol onboard camera. Let's see what Elton sees. Uh-oh. Look at that. How did he get through that? Man.
And now our final look from the Pennzoil copter cab. Now watch the 38 car down on the left side of your screen slip down on the inside.
And as he goes to the bottom, the car that he's trying to avoid that almost blocks his path. You see him go to the inside right here. The car almost blocks his path, but then it gets hit and knocked sideways right out of the way, just enough to open the door for him to squeeze through. Another car follows him through right to the inside.
Our spotter, Kevin Clark, on the roof says that's a clean shave for the Barbasol car. He squeezes by. And indeed, had the 33 car not gotten hit, he wouldn't have gotten by. Ray Dunlap?
Well, Doc, they've got the engine running on the Gould's Pump Chevrolet. He's going to go behind the wall. Looks like they're going to need to replace the radiator and some suspension parts on the right front for Mike McLaughlin. But Kyle alluded to the race at Bristol, and you remember what a tough break Mike had that night. He was running really well, could have picked up some points, then right at the end got into trouble. But tonight, it's the first thing of the race.
Man.
Boy, Mike McLaughlin just cannot buy a break at this racetrack. Remember earlier last year we had that fire come up through the shifter booth? Mike McLaughlin in Richmond, man, what horrible luck he has here under the first caution of the day. Back with more Busch Series action in just a moment.
Man, oh man. That Ken's obviously 3 abreast don't work too good, does it, Kyle?
Not there, it doesn't. And none of them ever even offered to check up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most of the time you can see one of them at least start to come out of it.
Boy. Tell you what, the lead looked awful tough.
Yeah.
Like he just pulled down and took off.
You know, you would think Kenseth being on the outside would have let off. Having the most to lose.
Yeah, I mean, he really had the most to lose. Right?
I thought he got hit from behind. I thought the guy.
They were like them. As a pinched.
Back at Richmond International Raceway and in Raceway County, Virginia, we are working the first caution flag of the night, coming out on lap number 2 for an incident down in turns 1 and 2. involving at least a half a dozen cars, those most heavily damaged. Tony Stewart's car number 44, the Shell Pontiac, Mike McLaughlin, and Brad Knopfsinger. Let's check in with Bill Weber in the Earnhardt Jr. pits. Bill?
Well, Jerry, an extremely strong start for Dale Earnhardt Jr., but a scary moment. Right when that caution came out, his car shut off. They think it's an electrical problem. He did change ignitions, and the car is running all right now, but that means just a handful of laps into this race, he's down to a single ignition box.